Welcome all. Today we will explore a video and audio editing program. Before going to the details of that program, we will have a brief introduction to editing. Basically, the very essence of editing is to create meaning. We may have different kinds of files in the form of audio, video, and images. So using this kind of files, we are going to create a meaning with a software used for video and audio editing. There are a lot of softwares available in the market for video and audio editing. We have Adobe Premiere Pro, Avid Media Composer in Windows operating system platforms, and Final Cut Pro FCP used in Macintosh systems. So these are the very commonly used softwares, and we have a lot more options like semi-professional and consumer level editing programs available in the market. So the program we are going to explore is Vegas Pro. It is right now owned by a company called Magix. Earlier it was known as Sony Vegas Pro at the time when it was owned by Sony Corporation. So the basic system requirements for the installation of the program is you need a Windows 10 operating system and at least i5 processor or equivalent, and a minimum of 8 GB RAM, and hard disk space 1.5 hard disk space should be there for program installation itself. If you have a decent dedicated graphics card, it will be a good option. So if you have less system configuration, you can go for earlier versions, previous versions of Vegas like 11, 12 or 13, which can be installed on Windows 7 operating systems with at least 4 GB RAM. So basically we have non-linear editing softwares right now, because today we are using all computerized or digital softwares. Earlier there were linear editing suites which were mechanical in nature. So all these programs which we mentioned right now belongs to non-linear editing category. So the very basic job of editing needs a lot of time and patience. So in order to create a better output, you need to be patient, and your system has to meet the basic requirements for the workflow. So if you have a low configuration system, then the entire process may get slowed down. So first of all, before installing the program, check the basic system requirements and ensure that the work will not get delayed because of that. The reason why I chose this software is because of the user-friendly nature of Vegas Pro. Compared to many other programs which are leading in the industry, Vegas Pro is really user-friendly, and if a person is determined to learn editing, he can do that within a very short span of time. If you are ready to invest some time, you can learn this program within 1 or 2 weeks. So let's check the system requirements and the hardware features. For that, we can go to computer properties. You can see the basic settings of our system. The basic information of our computer will be displayed here. The processor which is installed in the system will be written here. Here I have a AMD Phenom 6-core processor with 3.3 GHz speed with an installed memory of 12 GB, and it's a Windows 7 64-bit operating system. So you can decide which version of the program you have to download and install according to the basic system settings. Make sure you meet all the requirements mentioned in the specification list of the software. So now we will go to the install program. I have Vegas Pro 13 installed in my system. So when you come to the interface, you will have an interface basic default layout like this. So the very first step is to open a file. Open a new file. In the new project settings, we can give the exact requirements for our project. So by this new project window, we are going to set a template according to our requirement. So we have a lot of options like internet, NTSC, PAL, HD, up to 4K resolution. So first of all, just determine what is your requirement, what kind of video you are going to edit. So accordingly you can set the template. So I am going to just take an HD 1080 24p template. Rest of the things will be set automatically. We can manually adjust that, but I'm not going to that much details right now. Just click OK. So this is the very basic layout of the program. Many of the popular editing softwares have so many common features. So if you learn one program, at least one program, then it will be easy you to shift to another program, because most of the popular programs have many common things. So for example, if you are taking this particular area called timeline and the project window and the video effects, most of the popular video editing programs have so many common factors. So if you learn one program, it will be very easy to learn the other program also. So here the highlighted area is the most important work area of a project. So this highlighted work area is called timeline. This timeline is used to arrange and edit all our video, audio and image files. So this timeline horizontally represents the time duration, which is represented here, and it vertically will be having different kind of tracks. So this portion is called a track header. We can insert different track headers here. Basically we import audio files, video files and text materials in the form of tracks into this timeline. So each track is identified by a track header. So you can control all the settings using a track header. You can see the first one, second one and the third one here. There are different kind of tracks. Audio tracks is there, video tracks is there, and you can add any number of tracks according to your requirement. So this highlighted area is called timeline, and the 1, 2, 3 markings here represents the track headers. So we have seen the timeline, and the track head is here. So another important area is the preview window, where you can see all the preview video or audio of the timeline. Here we can see what all works we are right now placed in the main editing area, and just adjacent to that we can see another window which is highlighted here called the source monitor, where we can import a particular media file and select the desired portions into the timeline according to your requirement. Now we will see how to import a particular video or audio file into this timeline. For that we have an import media option here. Click on import media, then just open a particular file, then you will have that particular file into your project media window. Then from there you can either drag and place it here on the timeline, or just by giving a double click it will appear here on the timeline. Now we have that segment of video in our timeline. So when I am moving my cursor, you can see the preview of that particular multimedia file is appearing here in this preview window. So basically what all changes we are going to make in this timeline is going to be reflected in this preview window. Now we can click and drag the footage into our source monitor also. So the purpose of source monitor is to watch the clip and select a particular portion from that area to your timeline. If you don't want your entire footage to be dragged into the timeline, you can select a particular portion from the source monitor, and using the settings here you can just trim a particular portion to your timeline, which is your main work area. So as we told earlier, we can add multiple number of audio video tracks into this timeline. So according to the size of our project, you will have numerous audio and video tracks in this work area. So along with that we have different kind of tabs: Explorer, transitions, video effects, media generators, etc. here. So the project media targets at the multimedia content we are going to use in our project. So using the Explorer tab, we can explore the system sources. So if you want to search a particular file in our system, you can go through the Explorer to locate that. And basically transitions, video effects and media generators are particular tools used for editing. We will come to that later in the next session. So we will just brief today's session. We have discussed about different audio and video editing systems, softwares used in industry. Right now we are dealing with Sony Vegas Pro 13th version. So we just opened up the program and we saw the very basic layout here, and the main work area or the timeline is represented here as the highlighted area, and we have different kind of tracks. In the sense, we have audio and video tracks here. Then we have the preview of the video. Then we have a source monitor here, And in order to locate the media, we have project media and explorer, and different tabs like transitions, video effects and media generators are appearing nearby to that tabs. So this is regarding the very basic layout of the Sony Vegas program version number 13. Thank you for watching. We will continue in the next session.